Kia ora. In this bulletin, the government is convinced it's got the numbers to change the gambling laws should the Sky City Convention Centre deal proceed. National would need the support of ACT and United Future. Prime Minister John Key hasn't directly discussed the matter with either, but he believes he does have their support.
I think because they'll see it as a good deal. I mean, and that's what I think. That's what I think most New Zealanders will think.
There are calls for the government to suspend deadlines on Christchurch's red zone residents, many of whom are yet to hear back from their insurers. A group of frustrated residents gathered outside Sarah's headquarters today, calling for the government to step in and solve the city's accommodation issues. Weekend spokesman Mike Coleman told Rima's Newsrun programme many people have been battling with their insurers and the Earthquake Commission for close to 19 months.
There's a crisis right across the city on a variety of issues, and that's why it's important that the government, until this is sorted out, suspend the deadlines on red zoners. The arbitrary dates create an enormous amount of stress.
Whoever gets the job of Chief Executive at Auckland Airport is expected to have big boots to fill. Simon Muta is moving to take up the positions of Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director at Telecom. Auckland Airport Chair Joan Withers says Simon Muta has done a phenomenal job at the airport. France returns to the polls in 2 weeks after this weekend's initial presidential election, which has reduced the number of candidates to 2. Against expectation, voters supported the controversial right-wing candidate Marine Le Pen in favour of the current president, Nicolas Sarkozy. However, they didn't admit that to pollsters, apparently because her far-right party is seen as racist. President Sarkozy will be hoping that now Ms Le Pen is out of the race, those who voted for her will now vote for him. Bosses are being warned that 2/3 of Kiwi employees are planning to look for a new job this year. Kelly Services says its latest survey shows employers are facing a struggle to keep top staff. A man's been arrested in relation to the theft of 4,000 litres of milk from Mount Maunganui. The milk, branded Cowangate and Meadow Fresh, was taken from a Totara Street storage depot on 3 separate occasions earlier this month. At the time, police warned the public to keep an eye out for cheap milk, as the stolen products had just 10 days of shelf life. A controversial film about the life and death of Jesus, made by New Zealand documentary maker Brian Bruce, has won silver and bronze medals in the prestigious New York Film and Television Festivals Awards. Jesus, the Cold Case was criticised by many Christians when it was shown here because of the number of factual errors in it and because it only spoke to scholars of a liberal persuasion and ignored academics who supported the gospel narrative. Washington has been paying tribute to the founder of Prison Fellowship, Chuck Colson, who died at the weekend. Mr. Colson was imprisoned for his part in the Watergate scandal back in the 1970s, but his conversion to Christianity saw him emerge from jail a changed man. Speaking back in 2000, he said that time had a fundamental message for him.
I think back on those days now and realize that God used them to prove to me where the real faith, where the real meaning, where the real purpose in life is. And it's when you're at peace with God. It is not the things on the outside.
One of a kind. And that's all from me. From all of us on your news team, ka kite anō.